Marley, but in his space, undeniable, incredible talent. Yes,
So,
100%.
so you had a lot to work with somebody like Michael Jackson, right? It was a lot of a wellspring of talent to draw from, right?
Well, yes, absolutely. And I was very young, so it was Spike Lee directed, Michael Jackson artist, video, they don't really care about us.
Right.
So I believe it was like, an accumulation of amazing, magical things on that particular job.
If you can make Diddy look like he can dance, I know you can make me look like I can dance. I know that. I know that. I know I can do that. So who has been your most challenging person to work with? Your most challenging client?
I think they're all challenging for different reasons. Listen.
But I'm talking about from a lack of, I'm talking about like my reason of lack of dancing acumen. That reason. Like who?
Listen, I'm telling you, everybody has their own challenges. That's why I tell you, dance your dance and no one else's, because you have no business dancing somebody else's dance.
Yeah.
But we all have one or two rhythms that we're fighting to find.
Absolutely.
But I think that's what we all dance to our own beat, or we move to our own beat. We make decisions to our own beat. So it makes sense that you would dance to your own beat the way he does.
Yeah,
He got a whole different rhythm
I'm not
going.
embarrassed because I'm dope, and the beat that's in my head no one's played yet. So it's I dance to the banjo from Deliverance. That's my thing.
What?
Not the banjo from Deliverance. I feel like you have a dance, and you're just fighting to have me pull it out.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Out of COVID, I'm gonna get that 8 count out of you.
I think that would be dope.
I will chair dance the shit out of a competition. You get to sit in a chair.
I feel like you're apologizing for the fact that you know there is greatness in you.
You know,
See, I told you she'd be able to do
well.
it.
You know me so well. You know me so well. It's interesting because I'm a comedian, you're a dancer. And those are not, like if you told your parents when you were growing up that would be your path to seeing the world and working with world-renowned artists, they might have been reticent because that's not a clearly definable or quantifiable thing. At least they didn't used to teach dance early on, but now I guess it's a lot more popular. It's much like what I do. But what was it in you that you knew that this was kind of going to be what you did for the rest of your life to a greater or lesser degree?
I think, like you said, what's in you, and I think indication of that, like I talk about in the book, is the passion, like comedy. It's the passion for that feeling that you get when you give that punchline, when you're becoming the joke, when you even fucking find the joke.
Right.
It's magical. It's that passion, it's that feeling that tells you that's who you are in your most fulfilled self. It's
Right.
the same thing for me. I know I was gifted with dance before I even came here because I told my mother very young that I wanted to dance. So when I did it, it created a feeling in me that was an undeniable feeling versus me trying to go to school to become a doctor or a lawyer. Those things didn't identify or didn't create a passion, a fire that burned in me.
It's interesting when you say things like that. Now, you obviously, to do it, you have to have a lot of passion, but to teach it and to get people to, because some of the people that you have worked with, I'm assuming, didn't have quite the passion of dancing that you did, right? But you still had to. So what was it in you that allowed you to kind of transmit your passion to them, to give them something, a through line to go with?
Well, the dance is one part of building a superstar or an artist. So the thing about being is everybody has a rhythm to who they are. And so even before we create the movement, when I listen to a record, I understand where that person breathes, how they sing. I see the music. So I create the dance out of what they can do. And sometimes the limitation in someone is actually the most powerful thing about them.
Wow.
Because the 4 steps that you find, you teach them how to do it to the best of their ability.
What about the 1 step? Can you find? What's up, Big Daddy?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
I wore a hat because I thought you were going to be wearing a hat.
No, I'm tired of people thinking I'm bald. I'm like, hell no. I still got it. Last time I saw him, I think it's the last time I hung out with you, he was whipping my ass in golf at Calabasas. So
Oh, wow. You whipped him like that?
Yeah, he did. He did, actually.
I mean, between him and Anthony Anderson and Sam Jackson, you can't even get a tea time.
yeah,
That's truth to that.
That is
That's
absolute true.
We're trying to solve the racial wealth gap on our platform, and these guys spend so much money on green fees they could have solved it.
Well,
there's the show. Thank you so much, Hill Harper.
You have a degree from Harvard, from Brown. You have like 9 degrees, like some honorary 9 degrees. You are a award-winning actor, best-selling author. Mm-hmm. So fuck it. Why don't you just do the interview and we'll check back in about 15 minutes. You do it. You do it.
So what's crazy is I was sitting at Howard's graduation one night, and got invited, got an honorary doctorate from Howard, and I was sitting next to Vernon Jordan.
Oh wow.
Our great black leaders.
Right.
God rest.
He just passed.
soul.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just passed. And I said, Mr. Jordan, it's just such an honor to meet you. And I said, you're getting an honorary doctorate. I'm getting an honorary doctorate, and I said, I just hate to ask you, how many honorary doctorate degrees do you have? Because I know you got a gang of them. And he said, Hill, I'm embarrassed to say I got 89 honorary doctorates.
Wow.
Like, how many do you have? I said, this is my 7th. This is my 7th. I felt pretty good about it till I heard you got 89. So now I know.
Yeah. I got one.
Well, I was going to say, ask DL how many he has.
I have one.
Yeah, how many do you have?
One from Columbia School of Broadcasting. Columbia School of Broadcasting.
Oh, not Columbia University.
Yeah. And that's not a joke. That's for real.
That's for real. I just say Columbia. I shortened it up, but it's still on Sunset Boulevard. I know that. I hear the phrase financial literacy all of the time, and I'm always, because I never quite understand. Is it just learning how to spend money? Is it learning how to invest money? Is it learning how to make money? What would your estimation of financial literacy be?
So financial literacy is the beginning of the journey in my mind. I wrote this book right here 10 years ago. The Wealth Cure. The idea was, how do we cure the wealth gap? And what do we do? And so it starts with financial literacy, because you got to learn first. You got to get educated first. Sure. And then it moves to, in my mind, the journey is you move to financial capacity. And we want to build financial capacity among people, family, communities, et cetera.
Right.
And then you get to financial empowerment.
Right.
So financial literacy is just the beginning of learning what do you do with your money. Most of us have never been taught money, right? In school, they teach you math, K to 12, but they don't teach you money. Right. And I would argue that, my son's 5 years old. His ability to understand his relationship to money is going to impact him more than his ability to do long division.
Right.
And so I wish they taught more money than math, but that's where we come in. We got to teach money. We got to teach financial literacy first and then grow from there.
I think that the educational paradigm shifted, and I think the practicality of the American education shifted, and the educational system has not. The 3 R's are not as applicable as they once were, and I think that there's so many things that are more nuanced than that. I think that one of the things that is interesting, we talked about, you have a lot of degrees, and you've gone to a lot of college, and you're an erudite dude. So one of the keys to some semblance of financial literacy has to be education, right?
No doubt. It starts with education, but at the end of the day, education unapplied means nothing. Right. That's why you got all these cats with Ivy League degrees, but they're not actually doing anything for people in the community. So what difference does it make?
Right.
If you're not able to actually create change and actually impact people's lives, what's the use of a Harvard degree?
Right.
We have to deal with the wealth gap right now in our country. And if we're not dealing with it, then to your point, DL, financial literacy doesn't matter.
Because we missed the manufacturing age, we missed the industrial age, and now we are missing out on the technological age too. So
digital age,
we've missed all of those. And I think that, to your point, we're going to be having this conversation 30, 40 years later if we don't find a way to kind of be a part of, because if you want to be wealthy right now, that's Standard & Poor's. There are things that we need to do, but I think one of the things, I was talking to one of my frat brothers, and the funniest thing is the aptitude at what people attract. If you're an athlete, you show any level of athletic prowess, and you're a black person, you can go to the finest prep schools in the country. If you have shown any level of, but show academic aptitude, it's harder to come by. Like
Yes,
we're allotted for our physical prowess, never for our academic prowess. And one of the things we do have to do is learn how to learn.
Absolutely. But to me, I go back to any of these social justices. You can't have social justice without economic justice.
Right.
And so all the things that we talk about, DL, whether you want to talk about education gaps,
Right.
whether you want to talk about health care,